Hey guys, so me being a sterile processing technician for about 4 years now, I get asked a lot on how to become one. And in this video, I'll be sharing the ins and outs on how to become a sterile processing tech. Because after all, this is a finance channel, and basically with no money down and just a high school diploma, you guys can start making $30 an hour just like me, depending on where you live. Alright, for those who don't already know, sterile processing technicians are responsible for cleaning surgical instruments after surgery and then sterilizing them for reuse. And the sterile processing department is usually dubbed the heart of the hospital. So there's two misconceptions people get surrounding the hiring process, and one being you have to be certified to get hired, which is not true. The majority of places actually give you up to 6 months to become certified after employment. And the second one being you need to go to school to be certified, which is also not true. There's actually ways around this because these schools are just private schools, not really legit schools. They pop up all the time. They can cost up to $3,000, and all the info they give you, you can just find online, either through like the PDF version of the current sterile processing book or just on Quizlet, looking at little flashcards and stuff like that. The only value they really provide is giving you the externship, which most places would just, you'll be on a waiting list for like up to a year. So the way I would have done it if I would do it again, because I did go to a private school and I paid like $2,400 for it. It was 10 weeks long, two days a week. And like when you go to class, most of the time we would get let out early. It would just be like a 6-hour class day. So the second route of doing it, which I recommend, is just volunteering. Because with volunteering, it's one, it's free. Two, you build experience. Three, you build relationships, like you can meet the manager. That goes a long way. And fourth, you can actually get certified through volunteering. Because you do need to get certified if you want to work. Obviously, you don't need it in the 6 months, but if you want to work longer than that, you're going to have to be certified. Most people don't know this, but you can actually get certified through a special paper that the manager will sign off on, stating that you had, like, I think it's like 400 hours of hands-on experience. And once you're eligible, you get that. That's basically like you went to school and now you're eligible to take the exam. And then there's two different places where you take the exam. It could be through either through IAHCSM or CBSPD. We'll get to that later. To start, I would recommend just calling the hospitals all around your area and getting in contact with their volunteer services and asking if they take volunteers for sterile processing in particular. And if they do, narrow down which ones have like the highest chances of you getting hired and which don't have that many of barrier to entry, and just which ones are more convenient for you. And from there, you would start their volunteer orientation. You'll provide your medical records, your vaccinations, immunizations, and we'll get you like an ID and everything. And volunteering compared to like an externship, it's way more lenient. In my case, where I volunteered at, you only need to come in like once a week at 4 hours. I started coming in more after I was done with school. With an externship, it's like kind of like you're working. It's like 8-hour days, Monday through Friday, for like, I think it's like 3 months. So one, it's more lenient volunteering. Once you start volunteering, I would say just get to know the manager, get to know when they need a position so you're available, and try to get them to sign off on the paper so you can get eligible to take the exam. And the exam with IAHCSM, your certification lasts 1 year. And with CBSPD, it lasts 5 years. And then also take this with a grain of salt. I live in California. It might be different in different states, so just maybe do your homework on that, double check. But I would suggest doing the CBSPD one, because that one is actually only 100 questions and 2 hours long, and then the IAHCSM is actually 150 questions and 3 hours long. I heard the IAHCSM one is actually harder too. So once you get certified, you can put that in your resume that you're ready to work, you're certified. And if you don't get hired at where you volunteer, it's not the end of the world. If you're cool with the manager, they can actually vouch for you to, to work somewhere else through like a temp agency, which I've done because I wasn't eligible to get hired at the place I volunteered at the time, but I joined a what is it called? A temp agency, and through the temp agency, they found me, like they connect work for you. And in my case, I actually went and dropped off my applications at a bunch of hospitals, and I met the manager at one. And then I went to the temp agency, and they were trying to find me work, and they were like, it might take a few months. And I told them, hey, I met this manager at this location, and they're like, well, if you can link the bridge, we can send you out there. So that's what I did. I followed up, and all behold, there was a position available, and they needed help. So they sent me over there. And then within, like, this is not typical, but within like 4 days of me working there as a temp agent, they actually gave me the opportunity to come on board, and I got hired, and I started getting paid full wage. Because with these temp agencies, what they do is they make a percentage off of you working somewhere else, and you meaning that they're like the middleman, and you get less. All right, guys. To recap, I would start volunteering sooner rather than later, because it is a process with enrollment and whatnot. And then I advise, while you're waiting for enrollment, study the instruments and their names so you become more versed when you come into the field. And then continuously study throughout your volunteering. So once you reach your 400 hours, you'll be ready to take the exam, and you'll just approach your manager and ask him for the eligibility form right off. And by then, you guys should be hired. If not, reach out to some temp agencies and see what kind of opportunities they have for you. And that should be it. If you guys have any questions, leave them down in the comment section below, and I'll link all the things I've talked about today in the description box. So thanks.